Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of VCTV. I'm your host, Kyle Ellicott. We are here to talk about our favorite subject, that is blockchain. And more importantly, everything around how blockchain is transforming government and public sector as a whole. Now, this is a very important topic for today for a number of reasons, as we're starting to see decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs, start to enter into the landscape of blockchain. We had a massive funding announcement today from BitDAO, who is working on decentralized autonomous organizations to promote and propel mass adoption of open finance and a decentralized token economy everywhere. Again, they raised $230 million in an announcement earlier today. As well. But nonetheless, many governments around the world are also looking at digital assets and cryptocurrencies as to how they may play into their general economy and on their balance sheets, along with central bank digital currencies and the like. But more importantly, blockchain itself as a technology and DLT are also playing a role in government, whether it's about voting and process, procedure, intellectual property, and many other areas as well. And today I'm joined by my co-host, Adrian, who will introduce himself here in just a moment. But we have a lot to talk about. And before we do, a big thank you to the LATOKEN team and to Maria and Hasmik for making today's episode possible. I'm your host, Kyle Ellicott. Adrian, welcome back to the show. A little intro, a little background for everybody.
Hello, Kyle. Thank you very much for having me here again in the VCTV LATOKEN family. Happy to be home. It's a great topic because many things are happening these days. Before introducing myself, you know that I'm working in a project called DAO1, which is a totally decentralized autonomous organization. So this project was built from scratch. So I was able to see everything, all the pieces. It was a very interesting and challenging opportunity for me to be part of that. And I'm seeing these trends we are talking about happening. Just to make an introduction, and after that to dive into the discussion, because we can speak for 3 days about this topic. I'm Adrian Niculescu, serial entrepreneur and investor. Besides my advisory roles and board membership slots, I'm involved in few projects. CloudCoin Consortium. CloudCoin is a post-blockchain digital currency. DAO1, a decentralized autonomous organization. Also, I'm a mentor in Virgin Startups program in UK, involved with Faster Capital. Faster Capital is a Dubai-based accelerator and incubator for startups, and also with Sara Global Ventures, which is a VC company in UK. And the topic for today is very important because earlier in another episode of VCTV, we spoke about the missing link for the adoption of blockchain and related technologies by large companies. And one of the reasons why it's not a missing link, there are lots of broken links, I would say. The links are there, but are not connected. You know, the wires are separate. And one of the reasons is that blockchain, crypto, things related to those industries are not translated properly to the non-tech people. And it happens to CEOs of companies, to salespeople, and I believe it also happens with people from governments, from state bodies. And my association is that, okay, we are using electricity like crazy. We don't know exactly what it is and how it works, but we can press some buttons. So we'll have light, we can power up laptops and so on. The same should be with blockchain and related technologies. I'm saying that because there are many other called post-blockchain technologies using the same fundamentals but working in a different manner. So the tech elements, which are foreign languages for most of the people living today, I would say, they need to be translated. They need to be presented in a form to be very easy to be digested, because even for a corporation, if they work in a certain way for years, it's very difficult to put stuff on blockchain, especially, for example, due to the risk that blockchain could be cracked by quantum computing. Nobody could answer this day to this question, and I don't know, vetting 100% that blockchain is quantum safe, like 100%, you know. And this is an issue or a risk or something very people want to take responsibility for. And I want to use the example of Dubai, because there happened few events in the crypto space. The government is the driver for adoption of blockchain technology. The government is saying, okay, we want to move this on the blockchain, we want to move that on the blockchain, and everybody else is executing. Like the corporations follow what the government is saying. The government is the driver of innovation, which we can't see in so many places these days. And this is very important.
Agreed, and there's a lot to unpack there, Adrian. And I think I want to start with quantum. I mean, you bring up quantum in quantum technology, that blockchain may not be completely secured from being hacked by a quantum computer and or technology. But in relation to government, I mean, is that a concern right now? I mean, most government companies, agencies, infrastructures themselves are built on decades old legacy technologies in many cases that are very unsecure. And so let's circle back here. Are you saying that governments are straying away from, pardon me, blockchain technology, whether it be distributed ledger, DLT, integrated into their technology and infrastructure because of quantum? Or I guess take us
Not
back
at
to
all.
that. I think that's kind of how it was presented. So if you can reset the stage for us
Yeah.
on how or why, real quick, Adrian, why are governments using or not using blockchain technology today?
It was an association with the previous panel about the blockchain at the enterprise level. So in that space, it is a concern. I would say that in the public space, the the bottleneck is the fact that people are not prepared to embrace the change, because it's a new paradigm.
Mhm.
And in the public sector, of course, I don't want to make a general statement, but usually people are not very flexible,
Mhm.
because they fear that, I don't know, they will lose the job, they will have political issues or things like that. I'm not involved in the public sector directly, let's say by working with something with organizations, but I'm looking at things which are published to understand the trend. And it's very important if a government becomes a trendsetter, saying that, okay, we want to move into this direction. And I want to make a comparison between two European countries. Let's say Estonia. Estonia did amazing breakthroughs, even with their e-residency. Basically, you can become a virtual resident of Estonia with an USB. You can open companies. You can do this. You can do that. It's pretty easy to get a license for cryptocurrency companies, for exchanges. So things are very open, and the state is saying, okay, we want to do this on blockchain, we want to do that, and they became number one in Europe. It's a small country. At the opposite pole, for example, in Romania, let's say, even if they were invested tons of money in the IT systems, these systems are outdated. I believe that a lot of money went to commissions instead of going to developments. And if you are pronouncing blockchain, unfortunately, it's science fiction. And the people working in public sector, they don't want to adopt this because first, I would say, you need to cut a lot of jobs if you automate, if you add things on blockchain, if you put a lot of technology there, because to move a paper from A to B, you need 4 or 5 people, which are paid actually from the taxes, And if you put everything on blockchain, you will maybe need, I don't know, half a person for that. So one person could do 2 departments instead of 9 to 10 people. And in many cases, the people are recruited based on political views, not on experience.
Mm-hmm.
And these are realities, are not things I'm inventing. These are realities.
Right.
We
Well,
are
and
in
one thing
the
to add,
please.
one thing to add, Adrian, in that is, when it comes to government and technology integrations, as I mentioned, there is a lot of legacy technology, and sometimes those integrations for new technologies, they want to make sure it's proven. There is a long tailwind of adoption, whether it's, again, proof from the market or just integrating it in and having that knowledge. I mean, governments move very slow when it comes to technology. We've seen that on a scale from smart cities and how cities are changing their infrastructure and integrating new technologies. It's very slow moving process, a little slightly different than enterprises, not in all cases, but many governments around the world are pretty slow to move. I mean, we did have El Salvador, who did come out and say that they were going to be bringing Bitcoin into their economy, and also many other countries that are starting to do the same. And then we've got countries that are looking at how to accept cryptocurrencies or digital assets as a means of payment for public services and taxes, like we saw that with the city of Miami in the United States and Florida and a few other cities as well. So it sounds like there is momentum, more so than we've seen potentially in the past 10 years with different technologies as well. But that being said, your work with DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, with digital assets, and your experience in technology whole, where do you see the opportunities for those that are building applications or new tools around and leveraging blockchain for government? Where do you see those opportunities for our listeners today to kind of start building and paying attention to?
The opportunity is first to identify in every public sector and in every government, and my mindset was, is, and will be all the time to respect authorities and to add feedback if something can be improved. I'm not focusing on critiquing authorities because it's a waste of energy. In every government and in every public sector, if you look closely, you will find there are a lot of passionate people who want to change, who want to change things, who want to come into these jobs, these organizations to change. And to change, to improve actually. And as a software developer or a project creator, to have a client in the public sector of a government, I would say is a very safe bet, because you will be paid, it's a good contract, things like that. So first, identify who are these people who really want to move things.
Mhm.
Connect with them. Most of them are on LinkedIn. I'm looking, for example, the Prime Minister of Australia is very, very active on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
and also the President of France, and people from the governments of Emirates. They are extraordinary on LinkedIn. They are publishing like crazy. They answer to questions. Fantastic. Connect to these people, meet with them, and identify opportunities of helping the governments, helping organizations, and maybe build something based on the feedback you receive from them. So don't just come with the product finish and saying, okay, this is something I want to sell to the government. But if you have, I don't know, an MVP or a concept or an idea, discuss with these very important people and develop based on their feedback, because many of them are professionals with a lot of experience, and if you find the right angle, you are able to penetrate this space and to have extraordinary clients to work with. And
Mhm.
for example, because many of the people who are watching these shows are ugly stage entrepreneurs or developers or founders, many of them they invest like crazy in a project without testing the waters, without testing the market.
Mhm.
They work like 1 year for a project which it doesn't have a market fit. you know so they should start by getting feedback from the market, which is needed. And as said, for any company, having governments and organizations for public sectors as clients is a very safe and important bet and a big validator for what they are doing. Even I saw Tesla has a lot of income from governments. Also, my favorite entrepreneur, Richard Branson, is working a lot with the government of UK. So it's not that they avoid working with the public sector. It's okay if you bring value, if you do your job okay. They are fantastic clients,
Mhm.
and you can meet these people at the conference. As I said, they are very, very active on LinkedIn, and many of them they work like entrepreneurs, maybe like social entrepreneurs, because a
Mhm.
country is actually like a business,
Mhm.
and it will work very well if it's run like a business.
Mhm. Mhm. No, it's absolutely a great point. And Adrian, as we come to close here, closing thoughts. What are you excited about when it comes to blockchain and opportunities you're looking at to invest in, and where can everyone find you online to connect and learn more?
I can be found on LinkedIn, and always I answer to all messages, even if not immediately. I'm very excited about this thesis of moving the power from centralized to the regular people. This is something I'm very passionate about. So the normal people, they can become more than users; they can become players. And with decentralized autonomous organizations, there is a big trend of like wisdom crowdfunding, I would say, wisdom crowdsourcing, maybe this is the correct word. And really, such organizations can work very well if they are powered by the votes of the users. If they really want that organization to do good, those people have a lot of experience in most cases, and the results can be fantastic. And I believe this will work very well with finance once the platforms will be stable, more stable, or I don't know. You will be like 100% sure that the funds you've put in will be there. And also, I'm excited about translating the tech, translating blockchain and crypto to the mass market. Here are fabulous opportunities.
Wonderful. Couldn't agree more, Adrian. Thank you so very much for your time today. To our audience, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you reach out to Adrian and myself if you're building anything in the blockchain space, DeFi, DAOs, or decentralized applications as well. Both of us would love to hear from you. Do reach out to connect. Make sure you add context where you heard us, where you met us, what you would like to continue the conversation about. Adrian, again, thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you back here on VCTV soon. To our audience, thank you as well. Big thank you also to the LATOKEN team, to Maria and Hasmik for making today's episode possible. With that, everyone have a wonderful day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for more VCTV.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much. Bye.
Bye, everybody.